So our speakers today, Grace Boogie, Global Education Marketing Officer of Study Tasmania at the Department of State Growth, who will cover Tasmania as a study destination, key industries in Tasmania, Study Tasmania, events, programs and ways to connect, as well as a few student stories. Our second speaker for today will be Aman Onik, Program Officer for Migration Tasmania in the Department of State Growth, who will cover State Nomination Program, including State Nomination Program as a pathway towards permanent residency, the State Nomination eligibility and process, and Category 1 for Tasmanian graduates. So once again, I thank you for taking the time to attend the webinar. And without ado, Grace, over to you. So I'll stop sharing my screen and hopefully you're able to jump on and share yours.
Perfect. Well, hello everyone. Welcome and thank you for having me today. I'll just get my PowerPoint up. All right, perfect. Well, thank you for the introduction, Dave, as well. So as Dave mentioned, I'm Grace Dolly. I'm the Global Education Marketing Officer here at Study Tasmania. So Study Tasmania is the study body for the Tasmanian government. So we provide support for international students in Tasmania, as well as encouraging new international students to see Tasmania as a desirable study destination. So it's my pleasure today to share with you everything that makes Tasmania a unique and great place to study. So firstly, I certainly wanted to acknowledge and that we understand that over the last 20 months with the COVID-19 pandemic, that it has been very tough on our international student cohort. But on the flip side to that now, we are feeling really positive and optimistic about the future. And we really hope that it won't be too long until we do see you in Tasmania. So as Dave mentioned as well, in light of yesterday's positive announcement by the Australian government yesterday, we are certainly feeling really excited here. But just to let you know, we are still waiting for a bit more communication and details around that, and hopefully they'll be coming out to you soon. So please look out for that, certainly on our website or our social media channels, and I'm sure on the university as well. But we are so excited that we can welcome you back when we can do. So yeah, very excited. So a bit more about Tasmania. So Tasmania is a very special place to me. I grew up here in Hobart, and I've seen firsthand how Tasmania has really evolved. And we've really learned to embrace everything that's unique about us. And so now we're so proud to share our little secret to the whole world. To give you a sense of why I love Tasmania, I think we really get the balance right. We have certainly great cities with boutique shops, entertainment, sports activities, markets, amazing food, including my favourite seafood. But on the other hand, and also where I like to spend my downtime and my holidays is, camping, bushwalking, bike riding. And I usually find any excuse to go to the beach and explore new outdoor places. What I also love about Tasmania is also our closeness. So our closeness in terms of our sense of community. So we have really friendly people here, but also closeness to everything. So closeness in terms of mainland Australia. So we aren't very far away from the rest of Australia. We're about an hour's flight from Melbourne, so really accessible to get here. But also when you're in Tasmania, it's the closeness to everything. So you can be in the city 1 minute, and then next minute you could be up, at a beautiful mountain spot or on a beach. So yeah, a real closeness. For students that are on the webinar today, I understand what it's like also to live away from your family and friends. Having studied overseas myself, I understand the difficulties when you do, study in a foreign language and trying to navigate your, a new life in a foreign place, in a new city. So it can be a really nervous time, but it's also full of lots of possibilities. So you have great chances to meet new friends, have new experiences and activities, and it will open, so many doors. So you'll really learn something from every experience. So I certainly encourage you to take the opportunity and embrace the time. So I want to ensure today that you are inspired by these experiences that in the places that I grew up in Tasmania. But I also want you to be inspired by the growth and adventure of what it's like to be an international student. So I've got a video to share with you to show you a little snippet of what Tasmania is like.
On behalf of all Tasmanians, we are happy to welcome you to this state. In moving to Tasmania, you are now among friends. You'll become part of a safe and welcoming community, a community that embraces and celebrates diversity and welcomes each and every one of your cultures. Whether you have chosen to study in our university, vocational educational institutions or schools, you have chosen an amazing part of the world to start this new chapter of your life. Here you'll certainly receive a world-class education, and we invite you to embrace our amazing island lifestyle. Join us in tasting our incredible fresh food and produce. Take time to travel and learn about our vibrant and historically rich cities and towns. Enjoy some of the world's cleanest air. Walk along picturesque beaches. Visit some of our world-renowned national parks and climb our mountains. And be amazed over and over again by the stunning natural environment Tasmania offers. We also have an innovative, thriving business environment with a growing focus on technology and entrepreneurship. And of course, these growing industries bring jobs. Jobs for those who are willing to take hold of the opportunities that Tasmania offers. To put it simply, Tasmania is opportunity. In Tasmania, you can follow your dreams and make them real. May you see the fulfilment of your passions and dreams here as you join me and many others in calling Tasmania home. Once again, welcome, and we wish you all the very best in your new life in Tasmania.
Hopefully everyone got a little bit inspired there and saw some amazing places that we do have in Tasmania. So a little bit more about Tasmania. So this island will certainly not disappoint. So many international students have commented that Tasmania, the shape of the Tasmanian island actually looks like the shape of a heart. And we certainly know that you will feel the warmth and the love of this state when you do come here. When you choose Tasmania, you choose the Tassie lifestyle. So life in Tasmania is unlike anywhere else in the world. We're refreshing, we're safe, affordable, and full of adventure. So as I mentioned before, we're only a short flight from the capital cities, the shortest one being from Melbourne, which is around a 50-60 minute flight to the capital of Hobart. With an estimated population of 540,000, Tasmanian embraces diversity and welcomes new Tasmanians, which is why many people from around the world choose to live in Tasmania. Our cities are not overcrowded, and you can freely walk around the cities and feel safe. Tasmanian cities are small enough to feel connected to the community, but large enough to have those conveniences of all the great elements of what a city has at your doorstep. But Tasmanian life is all about balance, as I said. You can enjoy everything from great city life, but also being close to nature and a way to unwind from your studies. So Tasmanian lifestyle is just like our education, is focused on quality. So we're very clean and green as well. And Tasmania actually runs on over 100% in renewable energies. As the video said, we breathe some of our world's cleanest air and drink some of the purest waters. And we also have food and beverages of exceptional quality. So we live in a very pristine natural environment. So we have over 40% of our island is protected in reserves and natural parks. We also have clean beaches and clear waters that are never far away, nor a vantage point to witness a great sunrise, a beautiful rainbow, a sunset, just really some beautiful clear skies. And we're also very lucky in Tasmania. We can also, if you're lucky, not all times of the year, but you can also see the Aurora Australis, which is a beautiful sort of light show in the sky. So in today's globalized world, where places are more and more alike, Tasmania offers something unique, and not just our landscape, but our community as well. So as I mentioned, our cities have become a hub of activity, which highlights our culture, art, creativity, sports, community activities, and it's a place where you can really find connections. Tasmania is also a food lover's paradise, so we certainly encourage when you are here to take a break from your studies and enjoy some of the island specialties. That could be anything from beautiful fresh fruits such as apples and cherries and berries. We've got local cheeses. Seafood is second to none, including lobsters, oysters, abalone, scallops, honey, exceptional beef and lamb. We really just do have some of the best produce in the world there. Our restaurants have also embraced a real worldwide cuisine as well. So in Tasmania, we have a lot of multicultural supermarkets here and grocers. So if you ever need to sort of create something special as a home cooked meal when you are here, you can certainly find what you need here. So Tasmania, it is a place where people choose to work hard, follow their passions and support one another to achieve extraordinary things. And our approach is to really connect our international students into this community. So just briefly, I'll touch on our two sort of major cities. So Hobart is Tasmania's capital. It's in the south of the state. And it's 40% of Tasmanians would live in Hobart. We certainly have a captivating history here, beautiful harbour, rugged landscape. We're a gateway to Antarctica. And that hip and art cultural scene, we've really sort of in the last 10 years have really created a great creativity in the city as well. Launceston is our second major city, so that's in the north of the state, and that's based on the Tamar River. So it's also very vibrant, the city, known for its food and drink, and it's recently been awarded the UNESCO gastronomy city in the last 2 weeks. So it's certainly known for its produce there as well. And it's also got the beautiful Cataract Gorge, which is only a 10 minutes walk from the city, which has beautiful views and also some great walking trails as well. So I'll just move on as well to our key industries. So Tasmania is booming with Australia's fastest growing economy, population, tourism, international education and the construction industry. As of October, Tasmania remains in the top spot for the best performing economy in the country. Due to its growth, Tasmania has employment opportunities and a strategy to grow our population through national and international migration. So here I've sort of listed a few key industries, and I've left also a website at the bottom, which you can also find out more information on these industries and more. But certainly a big one for Tasmania is the healthcare and community service area. So with Tasmania, we are an ageing population. And this industry for Tasmania is the fastest growing industry in Australia and the largest employer of Tasmania. So this sector as well is quite broad as well. So there's a lot of job opportunities in that health and community and allied health space. We've also got engineering. So engineering plays a vital role in the infrastructure and innovation that we rely on every day in Tasmania. We've got our agriculture industry as well. So 28% of land in Tasmania is actually agricultural land. So the agricultural, forestry, fishing sector employs 16,400 people, which represents about 7% of the state workforce. We've also got science and technology, which includes information communication technology. In Tasmania, over half of the skilled ICT jobs are in other priority industry areas as well, rather than just traditional IT companies. So what that means is that your employer may be in aged care or agriculture, or really any sort of sector. So the ICT workers in Tasmania have got a real broad range of places where you can work. And this is really increasing for Tasmania with about 8% for each year. Of course, we have our hospitality and tourism sector. So this is really a big industry for Tasmania, and tourism is very vital to our Tasmanian economy. So tourism directly and indirectly supports around 42,000 jobs in Tasmania, which is around 17% of our total Tasmanian employment. Another thing to note as well with our hospitality and tourism sector, I mean, this is also an area that if you are looking for part-time work during your studies, that is also a big employer when you're sort of studying at the same time. And then we've got aquaculture as well, which accounts for more than half of Tasmania's sustainable aquaculture exports. So this slide is just showing you a little bit more about Study Tasmania. So we are guided by the Global Education Growth Strategy, which looks after your overall study journey when you are here in Tasmania, from your first arrival to your postgraduate stay or departure. So we work from 6 goals, and they're defined under the strategy, and you can see on the presentation what those are. And through those 6 goals, we really hope that we're able to attract the highest quality international students to come to Tasmania, enjoy an amazing study experience here, and also either choose to go back to your home countries or to stay on as skilled migrants and utilise the skills and the knowledge and enjoy your life here. So as a Tasmanian government, we certainly really do care about your whole study journey when you are here. So Study Tasmania, for us, certainly the welfare of our international students is very important to us, and we certainly offer support in terms of employability and the wellbeing space. And certainly over the last sort of few years with the pandemic as well, it's certainly been a major focus of ours. So really what we try and do is add additional experiences to your studies to help you with your life and gaining those additional skills for the future. So as I said, employability is a big focus, and these are some of the things that we certainly try and do in addition to your studies. So we run professional work-ready webinars, which are delivered monthly. So these are free to all international students and delivered virtually. And they can range from any topic from cover letter writing or CV building, selection criteria as well. So some important things that when you are looking for employment will certainly help you in that space. We've also run a student summit series this year, which has also been a series of virtual events. And this is really focused on different areas of the student experience. So we've had topics such as, building personal brand and getting noticed on LinkedIn, which is certainly becoming more and more prominent when looking for work these days. We've also had another session on confidence building and wellbeing. And we're also delivering a series, our final in the series next week, which will be on migration and industry highlights as well. We've also got our industry and insights and migration talent information. So this is a really good hub, which basically will show you a lot more about the Tasmanian industries and also ways that you can develop those job skills as well to establish your career in Tasmania. And we're also running an industry series at the moment. So this is going over the next 6 months. We hold these regularly. So we're trying to do about 2 a month. But essentially, they're key industries for Tasmania. And it's a real Q&A session on what to expect when you're looking for those that sort of work in Tasmania. So I know next week we have one on nursing. So that I believe is the 1st of December. So that once again, it's a free thing that you can access and also try and understand more about the Tasmanian industry. And of course, we do offer, at the moment, we are running a few hospitality training short courses. So this is actually for students that are currently in Tasmania, but that's really aimed at helping students develop some basic food and beverage making handling skills. So this can really help when looking for any part-time work as well. So yeah, we offer a range of things. We've also got our IPREP program. So this program is run in collaboration with the University of Tasmania. And certainly with this program, it's an immersive work program for international students, and it helps you to better be equipped to your sort of future working lives in Tasmania or globally. With this course, you'll also have the opportunity to do short-term internship program, which can roughly be between 50 and 80 hours as well. This program will also provide you networking opportunities with the industry, and also ways that you can help prepare for interviews, but you also get ongoing mentoring support as well within the program. So the program is designed for students in their final year of study, so something to think about, and delivers a range of experiences to prepare you for the workforce. So that is definitely one to think about. And more than 80% of students who complete the IPREP program internship ends up getting employment after completing the degree as well. Now, something else that Study Tasmania also focuses on in their strategy is a student ambassador program. So here in Tasmania, we certainly recognise that our leaders need a chance to grow. And the Tasmanian International Student Ambassador Program helps them do just that. So this program was designed to enhance the student experience and provide community connection. And the program helps to broaden experiences in networking, developing skills beyond the classroom, support for other peers, and all whilst enjoying the uniqueness of Tasmania. So we launched this in 2019, and this year we had 14 student ambassadors, both from Hobart and Launceston, and you can see some of their faces there. So they've been involved in a range of activities this year. So they've had employability workshops, been involved in citizenship ceremonies, and any other event that's helped develop their skills in public speaking, leadership, sharpening of CVs, networking, communication skills. We also try and get them to run a project as well that will enhance the international student experience. So hopefully the skills that they develop in the first half of the year is what they use to plan and execute a project in the second half of the year. So we are just currently recruiting this for this year, but certainly something to think about when you are enjoying your studies to be involved in. Certainly the requirements is that we do expect you to be studied for 6 months and have 1 more year of your studies to go. All right, so something else that we want to ensure in Tasmania is that you get to experience Tasmania as much as possible when you are planning your study journey abroad. So certainly for us, a great way to connect and see what's going on is our website. So we have lots of information on our website, as well as those upcoming events that I described with those employability, so free events. So that's always a great way to see what's happening as well. And we also have an essential guide to living in Tasmania as well. So you can certainly find a lot of information on our website. Of course, we've got our social media channels, so that we've got mainly using Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram. And on Facebook and LinkedIn is where you'll usually find those events as well. And Instagram is more of that inspirational destination content where you can see all the great places you can visit in Tasmania. And we also have a Study Tasmania Connect, which is an app. So this is a peer-to-peer mobile application. So essentially, if you want to talk to a student that's currently here in Tasmania, so that we use our student ambassadors, you can have a conversation on anything related to what it's like to really live here. So you're really getting information from people that are on the ground, living the experience. So it's a great way to answer those questions of, what's the weather like today, or, what's some fun activities you like, where's the closest bubble tea place? I mean, anything, what restaurant's your favorite restaurant in Tasmania? Anything that you would like to know from living in Tasmania, this is a great way to do that. We've also got our YouTube channel as well. So in this, we certainly share as many videos as possible of Tasmania, but also of student stories as well. So that's ranging from, graduate students to students who are now student ambassadors. So yeah, great way to get inspired as well about coming to Tasmania. And what we're really excited about as well is we do have virtual city tours. So this we launched in the middle of this year, and this shows a virtual tour of Hobart and Launceston cities. So this, once again, is a great way to see the cities where you'll be living. And you can, with 360 imagery and drone footage, you can really sort of get a full tour of what the city's like. So I definitely encourage you to check that out. It's definitely a great way to see the city. And so I will just show you a little bit of a demonstration of what that city tour looks like. All right, perfect. So I hope, yeah, you can find that virtual city tour on our website. and certainly a great way to get an idea of what it's like to be here in Tasmania. So before I finish up, I'd just like to show you a video. Certainly this is about a student journey, and certainly just a way to sort of get you to help you understand that, you know, we are really excited to have international students here, but it certainly is a journey and always a journey. So I will share that with you now.
Cười cười một tí vậy cười.
Yeah, no, nothing much as well. Just here, I love Tasmania.
Integrity. So we are transparent and consistent in our decision making to having difficult conversations, because it's very important.
All right, great. So I hope you got a little bit of inspiration from that video as well. I'll just leave you with the final slide. So this is certainly ways that you can contact us at Study Tasmania, and also follow us on our social media channels, as I mentioned, and also our website there as well. So certainly, you know, once again, I really hope you are inspired about Tasmania. It really is a unique place. So students on the call, I wish you well in your studies, and we certainly care about your experience. So I hope whatever you decide to do, you do have a great time. But thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Grace. Thanks for your time today. I certainly feel hungry after you talking about all the different foods that are available in Tasmania. So whilst we hand over to Arman, I believe for those eagle-eyed of you, Arman, was that you in the video? Was that? That was, okay.
Yes, Arman, we were always a few extras in some of the videos. So yes, well spotted with Arman.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And just to reiterate, if you've got any questions, I see some dropping in the chat already, but please feel free to pop them in the chat and we'll answer them either as we go along or right at the end. Over to you, Arman.
Yep. Thank you, Deb. Just share my screen first. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see the presenter version rather than the presentation.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Arman Onik. I'm the Program Officer of Global Education and Migration. So I will give you a bit of overview about Tasmanian State Nomination Program. And the focus is going to be Tasmanian graduates as well. So, yep. So what is skill migration program? There are actually two things that plays on when we talk about migration program. One is nomination and another one is visa. So just to give you a bit of clear idea. So Tasmanian government, they don't deal with visa, rather they deal with nomination. So visas are issued by Australian government. And each year, each and every territory, they get a specific number of nomination, which I'll discuss later on. And then also each state and territories, they have their own policy when they nominate applicants based on different nomination category as well. And once we nominate, then Home Affairs assess visa applications. And for nomination as well, it is the same category for visa. So need to have like 65 points on the Australian government skill migration test. If anyone applies for nomination without 65 points, they will be rejected. And there are a few streams for visa. One is skill independent visa, subclass 189. So Tasmanian government, so they doesn't deal with 189. So we deal with subclass 190 and 491. And if anyone is nominated by Tasmanian government, they get extra 5 points for 190 and 15 points for 491, which is a provisional visa. And basic requirement as well, need to be under 45 years of age, 65 points on Home Affairs point test as mentioned earlier. And our nomination program has a range of occupation list as well, and need to have at least competent English and valid skill assessment as well. So as said before, I'll be focusing more on Tasmanian graduate category, but we have a range of category for nomination as well, including working in Tasmania, overseas applicant, family in Tasmania, small business owner. So if anyone is interested on this category, they can have a look into our website as well. So just the previous one for 190 is a permanent visa. And for that one, what we need from the applicant is they need to commit to live in Tasmania for at least 2 years once they have their visa. So if we nominate an applicant, if their visa is approved, they need to commit to Tasmania for 2 years. And for 491 as well, there is a commitment to live in Tasmania for 2 years, but it is a provisional visa. So student can live and work in Tasmania for 5 years before putting their application for permanent pathway, which is 191, similar to 190 visa. So this is there's a bit of interesting stat about nomination and application for the past few years. Obviously, I mean the number of applications that we have received each year has increased significantly. And just to give you a bit of a stat for 2017 and 18, if you see the screen as well, we got applicants for application. We got around 2,600 applications. And nomination wise, so you have given around 1,435 nomination, and a large number of applications were from overseas. And same as well for 2018 and 19, we got huge number of application from overseas. And it started to change in 2019 and 20, where we got a small number of offshore applicant, but a good number of offshore applications, and we almost exhausted our quota in that year. So we got around 3,000 quota, and we exhausted 2,917 quota for that financial year. And again, just to give a bit of idea as well for approval rate, in those previous program year, students used to have a good approval rate for nomination, but now it has changed, especially in the last year as well, due to our focus on critical sector as well, because we are focusing more on the application who were contributing during the time of COVID. And there's a window of time where applicants has been asked to submit their application only if they're working in the critical sector. However, there are a lot of applicants who were not working in the critical sector has applied and they got refused. So that's why the approval rate in the last financial year was a bit low as compared to previous years. And for this financial year, we have received 3,300 quota, 1,100 for 190 and 2,200 for 491. And a few interesting studies. So interest is always more than the nomination place we have, if you see. So like in 2020 and 21 financial year, we have received around 4,200 applications, and we have nominated around 2,700 people. And so this is the stat from November. So as of 1st of November, we have around 1,320 applications on hand, so that are yet to get a decision as well. And in total, we have received around 1,770 applications. And in October, that stat was 1,414. And nomination wise, we have provided around 850 nominations so far. And approximately we are getting around 80 to 90 applications each week. And processing wise as well, so processing cases which has been lost from 11 August onwards. So we have cleared all the cases before that date. And priority wise as well, so we get a lot of queries about prioritization of nomination and application as well. And sometimes what happens is that we process applicants who are working in an ANSCO 1 to 3 occupation. And so our priority is to process those applications quickly and then allocating the remaining cases. So again, the purpose, as I was saying as well, so we are processing application quickly if someone is working in a critical occupation as well, definitely health, allied health, infrastructure, engineering, and then also we have any skill occupation list as well, which is called Tasmanian skill occupation list, TSOL. And if someone is working in those occupation and they have the relevant skill assessment, so we're processing and prioritizing those applications. And also other skill employment, which falls within ANSCO 1 to 3 category. So we are also processing those applicants a bit quickly than the others. Again, there is a concept among students that I'm living in Tasmania for 5 years. I've started in Tasmania for 3 years or 5 years. Why I'm not getting nomination? So as a state government, we want to see students have a prospect in the long term. So if they can demonstrate a reasonable prospect of settlement, after they complete their degree, they have a more chance of getting nominations. So just merely living or studying in Tasmania for a longer time does not automatically qualify an applicant for nomination. They need to demonstrate a prospect of their skilled employment in the short or medium term. And the way we nominate applicants as well, so we don't nominate just in a specific time in a year. So we nominate applicants over time throughout the year, so that we can nominate best and good applicants throughout the whole year rather than for a specific period of time. Graduates can meet the priorities 1 to 3 as well by part-time employment. They don't need to work full-time. And then also there is a concept among people as well and students that they need to have employment, which is not true. But if they can demonstrate a genuine ongoing prospect of their settlement in the short or medium term through skilled employment, then there is a more chance of getting nomination. So Tasmanian graduate category subclass 491 and 190. So for that one, as I was saying in my first slide as well, so they need to commit and live in Tasmania for at least 2 years after they get their visa, and saying current employment is not required, but they need to have reasonable prospect for settlement as well. So this is an interesting stat and very important information as well. So the graduates or international students who have commenced their study before 1 July 2021. So there was a different requirement. The requirement says that for subclass 190, they must meet Australian study requirement. And for subclass 491, it was only 1 year study. However, those who have commenced their study after 1st of July 2021, and those who will be starting their study in 2022 as well. So there is a slight change about starting the course and getting their nomination as well. So it says that the third point in that slide, so all applicants who do not hold a student visa at the time they complete their studies must have completed a course directly related to priority industry training and workforce development area. So what does this mean is, if someone is not on a student visa, if someone is on a 485 visa and they have enrolled at a course at University of Tasmania, so to qualify for the Tasmanian graduate category, they need to study a subject which is directly related to priority industry training and workforce development area. If they are on a student visa and if they have throughout their study, they can study any course, but if they are not, then they need to study a priority industry training and workforce development area course. So that is the priority industry training and workforce development area, which includes tourism and hospitality, and then also building, construction as well, advanced manufacturing, engineering, IT, H service, disability service as well, agriculture, aquaculture, transport, and logistics. So this information is available in our website. So I encourage everyone to have a look into that, which is very important information. So again, now even we see that the students who have completed their degree, they are also supplying career plan as well. So career plan is not must for applicants who are working in an occupation which falls under NSCO 1 to 3. But if someone is not working, then as mentioned earlier, they need to demonstrate their career prospect. And one of the way to demonstrate their career prospect is their career plan. And so that they need to have a good understanding of the market as well, that what job they're going to be doing, how they're going to relate their skills to the job they will be doing in future. So we need to know those things as well before giving them nomination who are not working in ENSCO 1, 2, 3. So the career plan information as well is in our website, and we have also a page for international student graduate and also for international students. So I encourage everyone to go through that page that contains very important information regarding career plan, and then also commitment statement as well, and then what course and should they study if they want to settle in after completing their study. So career plan and employability analysis. So now before that, a student can write in open pages about their career plan and employability analysis. So just to make the one a bit shorter and convenient, so we have now come up with a template they can use for their career plan, which is really easy to navigate as well, and just very short, only 1 or 2 page, and they just need to put the detailed information as per the individual questions. So again, if someone is planning to apply for nomination as well, so we have now we suggest them to read our document submission section as well. So now they don't need to combine documents, they don't need to modify bank statement or highlight anything as well, and also they don't need to supply irrelevant documents as well. What we see is someone is providing a reference letter from a friend or a lot of photos of their visiting in Tasmania. So we would encourage applicants to supply the documents that has been asked for rather than providing unnecessary documents. And also those who will be working in Tasmania as an international student, we encourage all of them to read all the conditions as well before joining a company or joining a workplace or joining a restaurant as well, and so that they also get paid legally and lawfully. So honesty and authenticity as well. So we encourage applicants to tell us the truth, not to exaggerate anything. Again, so if someone is not doing something but trying to prove that, so we consider that as a fraud as well. So when you will be submitting an application to us, we encourage you to provide the true and authentic information and documents. And this is an interesting slide. So again, no tolerance for fraud as well. So if someone submits a fraudulent documents, and if we are confirmed that there is fraud, we will not be nominating that applicant again in future. So that is a serious consequence. Again, so for agents as well, so if an agent provides misleading information or fraudulent document as well to us, so we pass that information to Home Affairs and Amara. So we encourage everyone to provide the relevant documents, but just with authenticity and honesty. And also once we nominate as well, so we'll be doing surveys, and then also we'll be sending emails as well for post assurance as well. So if we see that there is a bit of discrepancy in information or in employment as well or anything, then we'll take necessary action. And what we are doing as well, so we are running a webinar session. We have monthly webinar session, and we have our website as well. So again, as Dave was saying as well, so there's a recent announcement from federal government regarding border opening. But so if we have any more information on our program, so we'll put those information in our website. So keep an eye on our website for those news. And again, if you have any queries about the program and about any categories, you can always email us at skilled@migration.pas.gov.au. Thank you, everyone.
Many thanks, Arman. I'm seeing quite a few questions coming in. Our team have done really well to answer a lot of these on the fly. Whilst we do get more questions come in, there are a few which have been noted to answer live. Just bear with me, I'll share just a title screen. Okay, cool. So Grace, with the employability support, is this free of charge?
Yes, so everything that we're trying to make it as easy and accessible to all international students. So yes, all our employability programs that we run are free unless they're stated otherwise. But yes, everything we've done in the past has been a free endeavour. Yeah, you can find that on our website. We have a dedicated events and resource page. So I know I mentioned about the industry webinars that we're doing at the moment. They will go into the resources page, but any new events that are happening, they'll also be on the events page. But yes, all free.
Okay, fantastic. I've put a link in the chat for the events page earlier on. I will repost that in a second, just so everybody's got access to that. One for you, Arman. So if an international student has studied overseas for over 25% of their full load, will this have an impact on their state nomination, and would they still be eligible for it?
As we have said before as well, so we have a concession for students who have already started their studies in overseas due to COVID-19. So in that case, they just need to meet the residency requirements. So they need to have at least complete at least 1 year of study in Tasmania and live in Tasmania for 2 years. So if they have completed 25% of study, they could not come to Tasmania due to COVID. So I think they get a concession for that. So we have a policy for that as well, which is also listed in our website. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks, Arman. Let me just read through this. Do you know, Arman, what percentage of applicants are granted every year from the quota?
Yes, I have a bit of a stat for that as well. So just saying, like, approval rate was 67% last year, and so it is for graduates, UTAS graduates as well. So 66.8% for 190. And 77.8% for 491. So it was versus 90.9%, 92%, and 84.7% respectively the previous year. The reason because the decline was, there's a decline of 22% from last year. And it was mostly because there are a lot of applicants who have applied for nomination, even though they're not eligible at that time. So we opened the nomination program for a small window just for the applicants who are working in critical sector. And there are a lot of University of Tasmania graduates who have applied for the program, but they're not working in critical sector as defined in our policies. So they got automatic rejection for that. But again, as I was saying, if someone can demonstrate their commitment and their settlement prospect as well in short or medium term, they're highly likely to get nominated.
Thanks, Arman. A lot of migration questions, as you'd imagine. One further one. So how could I show my competency when I'm applying for state nomination if I have yet to find a job? And would the rejection be immediate without employment?
Good question. So yes, again, like it really depends on, as I've also mentioned as well. So international student, they get their temporary graduate visa as well. So if someone, so we want big. Definitely now state nomination is a competitive process. So we get around like 1100 quota for 190. And again, so the applicants who have a good prospect and who are studying as subjects that can give them a good prospect for their skill employment. So they are likely to get nomination. And again, we know that it is not easy to get employment straight away once they complete their degree, but student can, when they will be choosing their subjects, when they will be studying as well, there are a lot of other things they can take on for their personal development or professional development. So they just need to show us that prospect as well. If someone is starting an accounting degree as well, so they need to show that they have a prospect for employment, and we need to be sure that a accounting grad can work in that sector. And if they're not able to show a prospect in their in accounting sector, there might be some other sector they can add value, so they can get some training and demonstrate their commitment in that sector and then apply for nomination. So it is just not only about settling in their preferred field of study, rather settling in a sector which Tasmania needs people and they can contribute to the economy, and preferably through ANSCO 1 to 3 occupation, not ANSCO 4 to 5 occupation. But
thank you. Quite a technical one. So if an international student has completed a degree at UTAS, IT programs, say cybersecurity, for example, but they find a job in Sydney, they find a job with an organization based in Sydney, but are working in Tasmania, does this qualify for the 191?
it really depends on case by case as well. So if that organization has an office in Tasmania, so definitely, so we want to see that an applicant live and stay in Tasmania for a specific time and settle in Tasmania for a long time. So if we see, just want to give an example as well. Say for example, an engineer. So Fulton Hogan, they have office in here as well. They have a lot of engineers who are working in here. So if a graduate get a job for an engineering company which has office in Tasmania, so I don't think that that's an issue. So, but again, like the concern gonna be if someone is working for an organization which is purely based in interstate and has no other office in here. So so the concern is the tie of that applicant with Tasmania. So one of the criteria to nominate an applicant is they need to have a reasonable tie, reasonable commitment with Tasmania. So we want to ensure that they have a prospect in Tasmania and they commit to Tasmania by living in the state for a significant amount of time.
Thank you. In the interest of time, I'll just ask one more question, but if anybody has any further questions, you have the contact details of Grace and Arman at the end of their presentation, so feel free to email these through to them, or as you can see on your screens, feel free to email this through to your.study@utas.edu.au, and we will help answer these questions. So Arman, just to finish off, if a student wanted to find an immigration agent or to get further advice, is there a list of agents that they could contact, or how would they find this information?
Yes, so Mara website, they have the registration, they have the information of registered agent, Mara website. So they provide up-to-date information as well. So I encourage everyone to go to that website and find the list if they want to contact an agent, or if they're not sure about agents with registered agent. So yeah, they can find information from the Mara website. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Okay, that's all we have time for. We've got 5 minutes over. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you, Grace, thank you, Arman, for your time. And thanks everybody for taking your time to spend your afternoon or morning, depending where you are in the world with us. If you do have any further questions, there's still some in the chat we will try to answer. If not, as I mentioned, please feel free to drop an email through and we'll try to get through to these. So thank you very much, and we will have a further session in 2 weeks' time, which we'll email out shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.